Well, going by that response, Ranveer Singh doesn't need any introduction. And yes, I am going to use that Tisha Akash. So ladies and gentlemen, in this next session, we are not going to give you any gyan. It's going to be all about fun. It's a show and tell with the three speakers that we have in our next session. We're going to start with Ranveer Singh, and he's going to tell you about his first film. I'm sure all of you remember him, Bittu Sehgal, or Chole Bhature ki kasam. Well, he played the typical Delhi boy next door, but that did not stop him from becoming a heartthrob in every corner of the country. Let's hear it again for Ranveer Singh.
Thank you. Thank you. Bittu Sehgal नहीं, वो टाइगर वाले थे. Bittu Sharma. Bittu Sharma. And not Chole Bhature, bread pakoda. Bread pakodi. Sharma's, as you know, Sharma is a very important last name in my life. Manish Sharma, my first director, Anushka Sharma, my co-actor. So Bittu Sharma, my first character in the film Band Baja Barat. Have you seen it? You seen the movie? Who's seen the movie? You seen it more than once? No. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll try to make better films which have repeat values so you see them over and over again. Thank you for having me here. I'm here to talk about my journey. I was backstage and I was asking, what is the point of this youth summit? And they said, you know, to inspire the youth so that they view you as an example. If they want to be successful individuals in life and they learn about your journey, they can use that and use you as an example. So I'm not here to shed gyan or tell you what the rules are that you need to follow to be successful. There are no rules. And you should be your own example, you know, follow your own journey. Don't, everybody is unique and everybody will have their own unique journey, but I'm just here to share what it was for me. Okay, so I'm going to keep yapping. Bear with me, I'll try and keep it as entertaining as I can. So let me take you back to when I was a little kid. Why am I an actor? Probably because I always wanted to be an actor. One second. Okay, so when I was a kid, I mean, as far back as I can remember, I didn't want to do anything else but become an actor. Probably because I was a very filmy kid. I was very fascinated by movies. My dadi was a rambunctious woman, colorful and flamboyant, and she loved films, and she used to, whenever I used to go visit her, she used to make me watch these VHSs, and she used to get me all excited about movies, and I used to find them very fascinating. So I had grown up watching all these mega stars that we have today, you know, Shah Rukh, Amir, Salman, Akshay, Amitabh, Anil Kapoor. So I've watched all these movies like Hum and stuff like that, and I used to grow up thinking that, always thinking that, मैं तो actor ही बनूंगा. My earliest memory of a performance was at a birthday party in suburban Bombay, and it was a slow birthday party, and there was music playing, and my dadi was sitting there, and the entire family had gone. So there was this big garden, and there was one chair with my dadi on that chair, and she said, "I'm getting bored, you dance for me. Just do something, just amuse me." So there was music playing. It was a song that, I don't know if you remember, Chumma Chumma De De. Arey Chumma! मेरी जाने मन बाहर निकल, आज जुम्मा है, आज का वादा है, देख मैं आ गया, तू भी चल दिया, मुझे मत और तड़पा, अरे तू बोली थी, हे पिछले जुम्मे को, हे जुम्मा दूंगी, हे अगले जुम्मे को, हे आज जुम्मा है, तो आजा, 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 So yeah, that was my earliest memory of a performance. So this big garden and this little fat kid who's sweating his balls off. Okay, firstly, apologize for my use of profanity. I've had a late night. We've wrapped a schedule for Gunde. I was partying late in the night. And so my apologies for my use of profanity, my political incorrectness. But I don't care. I'm not talking to you guys. Sorry. It's happening already. Okay. So yeah, imagine this garden is, in the middle of the garden is this fat kid sweating his head off and a big fat old lady clapping. And she was watching me and amusing herself at this boring birthday party, and before you know it, the entire party had gathered around and they were watching me perform. And they were clapping and whistling and encouraging, and I was like, my eyes opened that day. I was like, this is it. What a head rush, what a thrill. I love doing this. I want to do this all my life. And I was a filmy kid, so for me it was a no-brainer. Growing up, I always thought, yaar, main to actor hi banunga. I took some pointers so I don't forget my own journey, given that I've had a late night. My second memory of wanting to be a performer for the rest of my life was in the first standard. We did a play which was a spin-off from Around the World in 80 Days. It was about this guy who travels the world to find a bride, starts in India, goes to Japan, Spain, Italy, and finally the conclusion of the play is that he comes back to India and he finds his bride. He finds his true love back in his homeland. So I was the protagonist in that play, and there were very few girls in the class and lots of guys. So all the guys had to dress up as girls. And there were only two males in that play. One was me and the other was the narrator. So I used to make fun of them. See, you have to dress up as a girl, wear a skirt and all. And I was feeling like the man, you know, because I'm the lead actor in this play and I'm traveling to Italy and Japan and what stupid, so first standard play, no? So we had these stupid songs. Sayonara, please do not cry. Just say sayonara, Japanese goodbye. So it was meant to be educational. You learn about Italy, Japan. Anyways, I digress. When I did that play, I felt so great. I was like, it feels so amazing to be doing this, to be performing in front of people and, you know, making them laugh, making them smile, entertaining them. So for me, I was always predisposed to doing this sort of thing. And throughout school, I was inclined towards these things: debate, drama, elocution. I was not very good at debate, but I used to always win because I used to talk crap, but I used to say it with full conviction. कि कोई माई का लाल बोल नहीं सकता कि गलत बोल रहा है. इतना कॉन्फिडेंस और कन्विक्शन के साथ मैं बकवास करता था और जीत जाता था. But I had no idea what I was saying in debates. Absolutely no idea. But I used to say it like, after I used to deliver what I have said, which is pure bakwas, everybody used to be like, he must be right, huh? बहुत confidence के साथ बोल रहा. Let's not question. So I used to be good at debates, although I had no knowledge. My delivery was good. So and drama, I used to be in the lead part in all the school plays, and I used to dance and stuff like that. Elocution was one of my strongest extracurricular activities. So I was always inclined to these sort of things throughout school. And it became evident to me in my growing up years in school that this is my strong point. Because the day report card nikalti thi, so I used to get bajaud. On sports day, I used to get bajaud. I used to not be very good at sports, so they used to make me the mascot. तुम वही category के हो, तुम करना नौटंकी, बाकी leave the sports to the sportsmen. So all the big stars of the school and all used to be running, winning medals and trophies. I used to be dancing, yeah. So in all these hot, sweaty outfits, but I used to love it. I used to love entertaining people. Even on that day, I used to take it upon myself to entertain all the parents who had come to watch, and I used to wear that mascot's outfit. And so I used to love these things. Elocution, again, I'll tell you, I was thinking about it in the car on the way here. I was like, do I have a funny elocution story? I just want to say that it's okay to get nervous and screw up sometimes, because when you do well, you know what to do, and when you screw up, you know what not to do. I remember back in school, there was a very, very big elocution competition, and I was very nervous, and right there in a chair like this was my school principal, who used to be a tyrant. Okay, and she was sitting there and she was giving me the look, you better win today, boy, or I am gonna skin you alive. So she's sitting there giving me this look. And I have literally, on stage, in front of as many people, peed in my pants. It's happened. It's happened. So, what you get from that is, you know, it's okay to screw up. Don't beat yourself up when you screw up, because you will eventually crack it. And when you do, you know what not to do. So don't beat yourself up when you screw up. It's fine. These things, it happens to the best of the best in whatever you do. Right. So now, I always thought I wanted to become an actor, but I was naive and I didn't really, till I reached about the 10th grade, didn't realize that it's not so straightforward to get a break in the film industry. Why films? Because I know you do acting on various stages, but for me it was always films because I was a filmy kid, like I said. So, in the 10th standard, when these serious questions start coming up, you know, what is it that you really want to do with your life? And you have all these aptitude tests, which are bullshit, okay? In the aptitude test, they told me two things. You should get into computers, and you should be a businessman. I was like, what? Really? Okay, if you say so, you're the person with the fancy aptitude, giving me this fancy aptitude test. So, you know, what I gather from that is don't let anyone tell you what you can, can't be, or should be. Okay, just do what you have a passion for. That's what's most important. So in the 10th standard, it was, I don't know, around the year 2000. And I was thinking to myself, look, I want to be an actor in mainstream Hindi cinema, but what are the chances? It's an industry that's clearly plagued by nepotism, at least at the time. I used to look around me and all the people who were becoming lead actors were guys with lineage, like Hrithik Roshan, Abhishek Bachchan, Tushar Kapoor, Zayed Khan. You know, it was very rare, at least at the time, for somebody without family backing to get a foot in the door, to get a lead part in mainstream Hindi cinema. Because all the prime opportunities were reserved for the ones with lineage. So, I thought at that point, okay, maybe this is too far-fetched for me to think that I can break into mainstream Hindi cinema, become a lead actor. It is my dream. It is what I always wanted to do, but it's not so straightforward. It's very far-fetched, and there were no positive signs, you know. So it was like, yaar, mera kya chance hai? So let me do what I also enjoy doing, which is creative writing. So from the age of 15 to really the age of 19, I thought I'll become a copywriter. Because I used to like writing these rhymes and jingles and stuff like that. So I tried my hand. I tried various things. When I was 16, 17, 18, every summer I'd do an internship to just, you know, feel it out, see what I want to do. I interned at Channel V once, and one at the age of 18, and then the guy who was running Channel V, Amar Deb, at the time, he said, you know what, you have that thing in you. You should become a VJ. You should be in front of the camera. I was like, yeah, you know, I really want to. He was like, how old are you? I said, 18. He was like, come back to me in 3 years. So yeah, that didn't work out. I would have done it. Then I think I went to JWT, I went to O&M, and I did fairly well. You know, I used to write really basic ads. You know, nothing intelligent, nothing that's going to win you the gold lion at Cannes or anything. It was basic stuff. Like, when I was working at JWT, we were working on Good Night. And yeah, I used to write stupid lines like, Coil tha hara, lekin machhar nahi mara. Le aiye lal aur dekhiye kamal. Lowest common denominator stuff. I am not more intelligent than that. Of course, my most popular thing I had written for Good Night was a rap. I always had this knack for writing rhymes. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? Okay, so okay, so it was, I called it the Machhar rap. Okay, give me a beat. Let's flow. Come. हम ऐसे मच्छर ना समझना हमें मक्खी खून हम आपका चूसेंगे बात मजलू पक्की मैटर लिक्विडेटर हमारा कुछ बिगाड़ ना पाते असर करे से पहले ही हम आपको काट खाते इसी से तो होता है हमारा गुजारा पेट भर खाता है हमारा कौन सारा आ आ आ आ आ देख जिद्दी मच्छर मेरे हाथ में है क्या गुड नाइट का इलेक्ट्रिक जेल नया इसमें है something some shit man. Okay, anyway, the point is, you don't, I wasn't very intelligent, but I used to write this basic stuff. My point is that I did have some sort of a future in copywriting. I'm glad it didn't work out because today I am doing what I love doing and I could not feel more blessed. Coming back to the journey, I remember there are these small, it's really a combination of luck, of fate, of incidents that you don't expect that will just happen and will become significant points in your life. I remember at the age of 16, I used to be a real loose cannon, never go to college. I used to bunk all my lectures, and I was just like, I was just wading through life. I was almost like borderline drifter. And I used to just gate crash parties and stuff like that. So at the age of 16, I'd gate crash this party where there's this person, Shanu Sharma, who actually later on in life became a big casting director. She heads YRF casting today. And she saw me there at that party, and she told me, you've got something. And that's where I met her. And what did I do? I gate crashed this party, and they were playing My Name is Lakhan. So I've entered as if I know this person for 20 years. Okay, long hair, like looking all hippie and all, and they're playing rum pum pum rum pum pum rum pum pum rum pum rum pum pum. So I've entered doing the Anil Kapoor step. Yeah, come on. And they're like, wow. So Shanu took notice of me back then, and then of course we always stayed in touch. And what part Shanu played in my getting my first film, I'll come to in a bit. My parents had always thought कि यार 12th के बाद हमारा बच्चा तो अमेरिका जाएगा पढ़ने. It's a thing in social circles. It's like almost like a you flaunt it like a status symbol. So whether it was a good idea or not, they always thought that हमारा बच्चा अमेरिका पढ़ने जाएगा. So after the 12th, it was decided that I would go to America to study. What I was getting into, I didn't know, but I thank my parents because it really was one of the most enriching experiences of my life. I went to university absolutely clueless. I had never lived on my own. I had never gotten a real job. I had never done things on my own and lived in an alien land independently. It can be quite daunting. But what I did gain was a lot of things. A love for cinema. I went there thinking I'll study media studies. When you go and live in another place and you learn about a different way of living and a different culture, it shows you that there is another way of living, another outlook to life, and it teaches you more about yourself. So if ever you have an opportunity to do whatever work that it is that you're doing that takes you to another place, you must go and get that global exposure. It really goes a long way. Most wonderful experience. I was a waiter, I was a cashier, I was a stalker. As an actor, you always collect life experiences that you can use in your performance. So for me, going to America was, those 4 years, they taught me so much. That I'm really thankful to my parents that they took that decision for me. So for 2 years in university, I was just blindly studying media studies. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I said, okay, after I graduate, I may get a copywriting job in a big city in America like New York or Chicago. And I'll probably become a creative director, work up the ranks. When I become creative director, I'll come back to Bombay and I'll try to make a career in copywriting here. I slack sometimes. So in my third year, I was late in registering for classes, and there was one seat left in one class, which was acting 1 for non-majors. And now I had not acted since 11th standard, all those personality contests and those, inter-college festivals and stuff like that. So it had been a while since I performed. So I signed up for that class because there was no choice. I had to fill up my slots, and this was the only class available. So I went there on the first day, and there were all kids from all different parts of the world sitting around. Some was from Korea, some were from rural America, some were from urban America. An eclectic mix of people. And the instructor, it was this rivaj in America. On the first day of any class, the instructor says, wants you to introduce yourself. Tell me your name, where you're from, etc., etc. This guy, he turned it on its head. He said, I don't want to know who you are. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know where you're from. I just want to see you perform. I'm not even going to tell you what to perform. Just get up and do something. So everybody was like, okay. So everybody has gone up and done something. I was scratching my head. I had not performed in a while. I had taken another track in life. Acting was not in my mind anymore. And I went up in front of the class. And I don't know what struck me at the time. I didn't think it. It actually came to me on the spot. And I started delivering dialogues from one of my favorite films. Probably because the only dialogue I really remember like the back of my hand. It was the only thing I could do at the time when I was put on the spot was the monologue that Amitabh Bachchan says in Diwar. Do you remember those dialogues? Does anybody remember? Sir? उफ, तुम्हारे उसूल, तुम्हारे आदर्श किस काम के हैं तुम्हारे उसूल? तुम्हारे सारे उसूलों को गूंथ कर एक वक्त की रोटी नहीं बनाई जा सकती रवि। जिन आदर्शों के लिए तुम अपनी जिंदगी भी खेलने के लिए तैयार हो, क्या किया उन आदर्शों ने? एक 400-500 रुपए की पुलिस की नौकरी, किराए का क्वार्टर, ड्यूटी की जीप, 2 जोड़ी खाकी वर्दी। देखो, ये भाई मैं हूं, ये भाई तुम है। हम दोनों एक साथ इसी फुटपाथ से उठे थे। आज मैं कहां रह गया? आज मैं कहां आ गया? तुम कहां रह गए? मैं कहां आ गया? आज मेरे पास बिल्डिंग है, बैंक बैलेंस है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? So, now, you all understand what I'm saying, but can you imagine the guy from Korea who's listening to this? He was like, so, I have said this whole dialogue in Hindi and everybody in the class is like, and there was a friend I made in that class, he was like, I came back to my seat, he was like, dude, that was intense. I was like, yeah. But anyway, so on that day, something happened to me. In that moment, something happened to me. I felt the rush of performance again. I felt the rush of applause again, of appreciation, of having an emotional impact on another person through performance. I felt that again after a really long time. And it had a huge influence, and it was a very significant day in my life. I was like, shit. I went back and sat in my seat. I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I have to do. If I do anything else in life other than acting, it will be a compromise. I am not prepared to do that. I went back to my dorm room and I called my father. And I was like, Papa, you know, I know you sent me to America to get this degree in media studies and stuff, but this is not what I want to do. I want to come back to Bombay. I want to try and become a Bollywood actor. Okay, can you imagine any father receiving this phone call? He's paying through his nose for this American education and he gets a call, Papa, मुझे actor बनना है. मैं बनूंगा विनोद खन्ना. So I've called my father and said, Papa, I don't want to do this. I want to become an actor. And he said, okay, I have one condition. You complete your degree so you have something to fall back on. After you get your degree in your hand, you're free to do whatever you want. And so I completed my degree. During the course of which I signed up for more acting classes. And in those classes, when I used to perform in front of those people, I used to realize that, okay, I can do this. You know, from the feedback that I used to get, from the immediate response that I used to get from people who were watching me, from the instructors, I used to get that little bit of confidence that, हाँ यार, ये मुझे आता है. So that was very helpful in university to know that I can do this. Then there was my love for cinema. You know, till then I had only watched mainstream Hindi cinema, you know, all the bubblegum stuff like Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. So when I signed up for Cinema 101, which is the introduction to cinema, I had to watch, for an assignment, watch a film called Taxi Driver. Has anybody seen Taxi Driver? Yeah. It's one of my favorite films, and it was another turning point in my life where I realized that there are stories of all kinds to be told in this world. And they don't always have to be happy. They don't always have to be feel-good, you know, bubblegum entertainment. There are actual stories that can be told. And what a lovely medium to be telling stories, you know, an amalgamation of audio and visual, which is cinema. So I then got this huge appetite for cinema and world cinema that I explored. I got a job as an attendant in a video parlor, and things were very slow, so I used to just watch movies, and that's where I really developed a passion for cinema. Anyhow, all said and done, I got my degree in my hand, and I came back to Bombay, and I was like, well, I'm back. Here's my degree. Now I want to become a Bollywood actor. Now what? So you come back, you've got this degree, you spend all these years educating yourself, and you want to do something that your degree has no use for. Your degree comes nowhere in the picture. So I'm here in Bombay and I have no idea how to go about it. This is back in 2007. Of course, one of my friends was friends with this director, Shad Ali. And Shad is like a big brother to me, like a mentor. I met him, that party that I crashed that Shanu was at was actually Shad's party. And I got along with him with like a house on fire because of our mutual love for films. He was much older, but we got along like a house on fire. So when I came back to Bombay, I said, okay, how do I go about this? I have no idea. Let me take the first steps. Let me at least get on a set and see how it works. So Shad gave me a job as an assistant director. Now, being an assistant director is a good vantage point if you want to get into this trade. It's a good point where you see a little bit of the casting, editing, production. You get to see how every department works. And you get to learn and maybe at that point also choose that this is what's most attractive to me in this. There's so many things that go into the making of a film, whether it's a feature film or an ad film. There's the camera department, there's editing, there's casting, there's so many different departments that you can specialize in. Being an assistant director is a good vantage point. So that was a good starting point for me because I had never really been in a professional capacity on a film set, and I hadn't been on a film set in like 15, 20 years. So I got on that set thinking, okay, I still had a doubt in my mind. Maybe I'll like direction more. Maybe I'll like what the camera guy does more. But when I entered into that space, it was an ad for Tata Sky, and Mr. Paresh Rawal was supposed to be performing for it. And of course, we had gotten there in the morning, and I entered this magical space. It was inside an auditorium, just like this, similar. And the camera was up like this, and there were all these people doing all their business. And then there were these lights, and there was this spot. And I looked around, I was like, there, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to be. And then it was confirmed. I was like, boss, this is it. Now, come hell or high water, I'm going to become an actor, whatever it takes. This is me at the age of 21, assistant director. How that helped was, being an assistant director for a year and a half, I got to meet a lot of casting directors. I got to meet producers, directors, fellow actors, somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And I built a base of contacts that I would later use, and I'll tell you how. That experience was very helpful. What did I do? After I became an assistant director, I was like, okay, I've been an assistant director for a year and a half. I'm becoming fat, and I don't look like a guy who can be a mainstream Hindi actor. So let me, at least now, it's time to get a little more focused. Let me get back to acting. And I went to acting class. Has anybody seen this movie, Luck by Chance? Yeah, you know the first segment where Farhan Akhtar's character is in that acting class, and they're making him do these ridiculous things. I have had that experience. Let me tell you, Luck by Chance is a very good rendition of what things are really like inside those acting classes in Bombay. I was sitting there in the first week in acting class, and I was like, God, these guys are stuck in the dark ages. They are frozen in time in the 1980s. What are they making me do? It was like, the more ham acting you would do, the more applause you would get. People are going mad. Yeah, kya mast kya Ranveer. We had classes like hero ki walk. So the class starts with the instructor telling you nothing about acting. It's how to walk like a hero. So he starts off with, एक होती है normal walk. देखिए, ये है normal walk. अब मैं दिखाता हूँ hero walk. ये देखिए, panther walk. जब hero चलता है, ऐसे लगना चाहिए कि panther चल रहा है. These are the kind of ridiculous things that they were, those acting classes. I don't know, there are some new ones that have come up and I haven't been in there to see what they're teaching the kids there. But a lot of them are just money-making rackets. What I learned in that acting class is that acting is something that can't be taught. You can either do it or you can't do it. I would love to be a great footballer or a great singer, but I can't do it. I don't have the talent for it. That's why I became the goalkeeper. So I can't, you can either do it or you can't do it. It's something that can't be taught. In an acting class, they can give you some tools that may help you a little bit, but they can't teach you acting, because acting is something that can't be taught. The other advantage, I will admit, of being in an acting class is that you get to perform in front of an audience. It's very easy to do things in front of a mirror and at home and for a few of your friends who you're very comfortable with. But it's a different ball game when you get in front of people, you know, who are watching you and judging you, and when you perform in front of an audience, it's a completely different ball game altogether. So acting classes help in the fact that they give you an audience to perform in front of, and that is very good practice. But however, I did this acting class. I felt like I had, progressed, that this was actually what they were teaching me, and there was a little bit regressive. So I quit. I didn't want to do it anymore. I said, okay, now I need to act somehow, so let me try and get into theatre. Of course, I tried joining a theatre group, and the way theatre, at least in Bombay, works is that you have to earn your stripes. You have to join a theatre group, and then you have to do all the backstage work for at least a year or 2 years or 6 months, 8 months. It depends from group to group and situation to situation. But you have to become a part of the group, do all the dirty work, and then you start getting the smaller parts and then the bigger parts and stuff like that. So for a good 8 months, I was going to the market to get the puja ka material. I was going kilas into chairs, moving sets, sweeping floors. I was doing all of that, thinking I'm earning my stripes, but 8 months later I didn't get the opportunity to act, which is why I was doing this whole thing. So I was like, you know what, screw this. I think it's time now that I need to get a little bit more focused and try to get a part in a film. So how do I do it? How did other guys do it? And how did I know how other guys are doing it? Because I was an assistant director. I know how the casting system works because I took up the job as the assistant director. I knew that first thing was that I had to make an impactful calling card, your portfolio, which is a very important thing for if you're, at least in the way things are shaping up and how things work, things are getting a lot more streamlined. So your portfolio is your calling card. It's a very important aspect of what you have to offer as an actor. When I was an assistant director, we used to get 50 of them every day. We used to get 100 of them every day. And these small cards that, people used to come with these hopes and aspirations in their eyes, let me get this part, and they used to hand you this. And you have no choice but as an assistant director but to take it and put it in that carton below that maybe nobody's ever going to see. I knew the fate of portfolios. So when I was making my portfolio, I said, I'm going to make such an impactful portfolio that if I hand it to a person, they are I want to leave them with no choice but to make the thing that's in their hand so attractive that they have to open it and at least have a look. So if they'd open the first page, then it should create an impact that they should go to the second page and the third page and the fourth page. So I worked very hard on my portfolio. I designed every look. I took 4 months off to build my body. I had several meetings with the photographer, several meetings with the costume designer. I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to put into that book, because I didn't want that I go give my portfolio to someone and it goes in that carton where there are 100 other portfolios. I wanted mine to stand out, and I worked towards it. A good 6-8 months I devoted into just making my portfolio. It turned out to be pretty decent. All the feedback that I used to get when I used to hand it to a person was, you've done a good job on your portfolio. Now, it's a step-by-step process. You make your portfolio, you put it out there, give it to all the professionals that you do have contacts with, saying, this is my calling card, I am a new actor, I'm looking for work, so if you have some work, please call me, this is my calling card. After you've done that, they should call you in when there is an opportunity. Once you get into an audition, the first step is to land the audition. Once you're in the audition space, then it's all up to your performance. So after making my portfolio for about 6 months, I was so-called struggling. I was hustling. After you make your portfolio, it's your job to get it out there. So that 1.5 years that I had spent as an assistant director, all the casting directors and fellow actors and contacts that I had made, that Excel file that I had of numbers and emails, I was just sending my pictures out to everyone saying, guys, I'm 25, this is what I look like, I'm looking for work, please, if there is an opportunity, please contact me. So for 6 months, and it was anything, and you have to be really thick-skinned, you know, because it's not going to be easy. You have to swallow your pride. I used to ambush guys at restaurants. You know, if I saw a filmmaker at a restaurant, I'd just go and give him my portfolio, and I'd have no qualms about it. You know, you don't know where the opportunity is going to come from. You just have to make sure everybody knows that you're available for work, and then they call you for the audition, and then it's up to you. So 6 months later, after having given my portfolio here and there, I got a call for a lead role in a Yash Raj film. Wow. Huh? So I got a call and they said it's a lead part and it's a Yash Raj film, and I started scratching my head. I was like, Yash Raj is the premier banner of this country. They only work with stars. They've never launched a new actor. Is this audition really legitimate? And well, I found out that it was. And I realized that this is the opportunity that I'm waiting for. Because up until now, I had given auditions. And I had given auditions for lead parts in films. Films that have been produced and have been released, and by the way, have been successes. And the guys who took up those parts are working actors today. I won't take the names of those films, but I passed up on those opportunities thinking that I'll wait for something bigger. I'll wait for something bigger. You know, the advantage that I had was that I was from Bombay. You have to realize that the industry is centered around Bombay. If you want to make a foray into mainstream Hindi cinema, you have to be in Bombay. There's no other way to do it. And Bombay is not an easy city to live in. The advantage I had over other strugglers was the fact that I was from Bombay and I had my parents' support. I always had a roof over my head and something to eat. You know, the first battle that people have to fight when they come to try and become actors in Bombay is fight the city. You know, the city can bog you down. It's very difficult that when you have an audition at 2 o'clock, you wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock and there's no water in the tap. And you have to get to your audition, but you can't, there's no way to iron your shirt. And, you know, you have to get there in time, but it's too hot and there's too much traffic and you arrive late and you're sweating. So, there are all these factors that, I have to wrap up, I'm sorry. I'll try and make this snappy. I'm so excited to see you all. I had to share everything. Does anybody want to become an actor, by the way? Anyone? I see one hand. Okay, 3. Yeah, I like what I do. So I'm doing it. Nobody else wants to become an actor? What do you guys want to become? Shout out at me. I want to hear some voices. Oh, nice. Nice. Lawyer. Nice. What else? Huh? Alright. I will let him know. There are guys who want to become him. That's great.
You should send this guy to the one who took your aptitude test.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. So, it's good. It's good that, you know, you aren't really attracted to these glitzy and glamorous things because they aren't that attractive. You know,
I'm sure you have questions for Ranveer Singh.
Throw questions at me. But when you said industrialist, something struck me. It's good that you're just doing what you're passionate about. That's what's most important. Because I had a friend, my roommate in university, he said, I want to become an investment banker. I was like, you number cruncher, I look down upon thee. So he was like, screw you, because my passion is being rich and making money, so screw you. I'm doing what I'm passionate about. Huh? You can dance and take off your shirt and dance shirtless, I'll do this. So, my point is, if there's anything to take away from what I've been blabbering on about and exceeding my time limit, is that please don't be stuck doing something that you don't enjoy. You know, because that's the bad situation to be in. You should have this zeal for what you do. You should do what you love what you do, and not a single day in your life will feel like you're going to work. Just do what you are passionate about, follow your dream, follow your passion, and that's the only thing I have to
And
say.
we love what you do. I'm from Delhi. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a Delhiite at heart now, after having spent quite a few years there. I cannot let you go, Ranveer, without doing something from Band Baja Barat. I mean, you put Delhi guys on the map.
What would you like me to do?
Anything. something.
It was
Chole
a
Bhature,
2-hour plus
let's
film.
something.
I could do anything. It was a 2-hour plus film. There was a love making scene in it. I can do that. I don't know.
No.
What would you have me do?
Dialogue, please.
Dance with your shirt off.
Okay. Your appeal obviously cuts across genders, so okay. Please oblige, Akash.
It's a tradition here. It's a tradition that we do.
So I finally put my shirt on. Do you want me to take it off again? All the magazine covers, huh?
Let's hear it, come on, Ranveer, come on!
Yeah, I didn't sing the song, but I'll sing it. Of course, the strongest memory of the film Band Baja Barat. You know that song, come on, you know that song. Huh? Oh, what do you think, Amy? Amy, what bolo Amy? Amy? Bad. Come, let's sing it. Anybody who knows the words, please join me. Oh, can I use the lovely lady in red as my muse? Yeah. I need someone to sing to.
1, 2, 3, hit it!
Akha de katore, surma batore, lag de chichore bade hi-fi, dil ko tarati, saade chal jati, mare dil ko lati puche vaye, चाय में डूबा बिस्कुट हो गया. Sing it! With the hands. Every लुट गया. Every लुट गया.
Sing along. Is that it?
He's gotten tired.
Alright, we'll have another one from your forthcoming film next. But before that, and we've made a tradition this time at the Youth Conclave, we've tried this experiment here and we're going to carry it forward. We'll have the quick fire round now. Just one word and your first reaction to it.
The last time I did a rapid fire was on a show called Coffee with Karan, and I have not heard the end of it. I hate rapid fire. God.
We'll try and better it. We'll get a cup of coffee very soon. It's coffee with the Youth Summit. Alright. Girlfriend.
Huh? I thought you start easy and then warm up progressively.
This is easy, trust me, this is easy.
Bringing out the bazookas. Okay, come on, rapid fire. First thing that comes to my head, right? Okay, restart, I'm ready.
Girlfriend.
Fun.
Committed. One night stand.
Had them.
Current status.
Single. Hi.
Hello. Sorry, wrong number.
आपल्या कॉल करे आहे फिलहाल उपलब्ध नाहीये.
नहीं है. Relationship?
Sure.
No. Hypothetically. Okay, a question now. You said that when you stepped into the industry, you found a lot of star sons, the Baba Log, they were dominating the industry. Is that still the case? Do you still find yourself struggling? You've made a mark, but is it still difficult to cut through the creamy layer which is already there?
Look, there's no denying that it is easier for them to get their foot into the door because their parents have contacts. You know, it is easier for them. But that doesn't mean that things aren't looking up for the people who don't have lineage and would like to, you know, start working in the film industry. Things are looking up. My case is an example. You know, there are more and more films being made and there are more and more opportunities, and there is a trend now towards honoring merit. You know, you don't just land the part because of who your father is or your mother is or your uncle is. If you can deliver, then you will get that part. So this is a very positive trend that is happening, and just it's increasing as the years pass by, and more so now than ever. So yes, it is slightly easier, but then in order for them to stick it out, they have to be able to deliver. You know, you have n number of industry kids who came, weren't accepted, and are not working today. But then you have fine examples like Ranveer Kapoor, for example. You know, he is such a wonderful actor, and he is doing so well for himself. What he's doing with his films is highly admirable. So you are an industry, or Arjun Kapoor for that example.
You're working with him in your next film,
yeah.
which brings us to the best part. You've been partying hard on the sets of your next film. Let us in on the fun. Something from your next film. Can I please also call Kali on stage to give a small token of appreciation to Ranveer Kapoor, but not before you give us something from your next film. Something
give it
we haven't
to me.
seen.
Give it to me. I'll send it to Ranveer in Bombay. Did you?
What? Oh, sorry, Ranveer. Sorry, Ranveer.
बड़े-बड़े स्टेजों पे ये छोटी-छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं.
छोटी सी गलती, sorry.
I can't. Then who'll watch the movie?
We'll still watch the movie. You'll watch the movie, right?
Oh, which film? Okay, there's Lutera, there's Ram Leela, there is Gunde. Gunde. Okay. I don't know. Okay, I'm not from Gunde. Not from Gunde. Mr. Aditya Chopra will kick my ass if I let out anything from Gunde.
Okay, whatever you want. A step, a song, quick dialogue, punchy. Your time starts now.
Punchy. मैडम, हम गुंडे हैं. एक बार जिसके साथ जी लिए, मरते भी उसी के साथ हैं.
Thank you very much, Ranveer.
Thank you, madam.
Pleasure having you here. Kali, can we please have you on stage? And a huge round of applause. Come on, guys, let's hear it.